So this is a very important, very instructive, very illuminating, very enlightening, and very empowering verse for everyone. Here, what is Krishna saying to Arjuna? Mam hi parthavyapashritya yepi syu papayonayah striyo vaishyastatha shudras tepi yanti param gatim. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, let me just lower this, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination. Purport. It is clearly declared here by the Supreme Lord that in devotional service, there is no distinction between the lower and higher classes of people. In the material conception of life, there are such divisions. But for a person engaged in transcendental devotional service to the Lord, there are not. Everyone is eligible for the supreme destination. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.18, it is stated that even the lowest, who are called Chandals, dog eaters, can be purified by association with a pure devotee. Therefore, devotional service and the guidance of a pure devotee are so strong that there is no discrimination between the lower and higher classes of men. Anyone can take to it. The most simple man taking shelter of the pure devotee can be purified by proper guidance. According to the different modes of material nature, men are classified in the mode of goodness, Brahmanas, the mode of passion, Kshatriyas or administrators, the mixed modes of passion and ignorance, Vaishyas or merchants, and the mode of ignorance, Shudras or workers. Those lower than them are called Chandals, and they are born in sinful families. Generally, the association of those born in sinful families is not accepted by higher classes. But the process of devotional service is so strong that the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord can enable people of all the lower classes to attain the highest perfection of life. This is possible only when one takes shelter of Krishna. As indicated here by the word Vyapashritya, one has to take shelter completely of Krishna. Then one can become much greater than great jnanis and yogis. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kavalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamcha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Chandramauli Swami Niti Namini Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, my dear Vaishnavis, we can see over here, Krishna is declaring that wherever you come from, whoever you are, you may be Chandal, you may be Vaishya, you may be Shudra, you may be born in a woman's body, it doesn't matter, you too can attain the supreme destination. Srila Prabhupada was firmly convinced of the purity of our philosophy and the ability of anyone to take to devotional service. Therefore, when he first came to the United States, to New York, when the hippies came Prabhupada accepted them. They were so much addicted. We all know how much they were addicted to very sinful activities. Their way of, conducting themselves was most abominable. They were indulging in all kinds of intoxicants, drugs, LSD, alcohol, illicit sex. All these things were going on. But because Prabhupada is a pure devotee and he is the highly empowered Senapati Bhakta of Lord Chaitanya, he could purify even the most sinful rascals, which is who we are, all of us, and pick them up and bring them to the highest platform. Some of those hippies went on to become our spiritual masters, isn't it? So this is the power of the pure devotee. By completely taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada, all those disciples have become extremely famous, extremely accomplished, and are now in a position to guide many other people on the path of devotional service. Now, when Srila Prabhupada came from India to the United States, he noticed something which was very peculiar to America. Both boys and girls were coming to him. Because society is so loose, especially in America, there's no parental control. 18 years, they go out on their own, they do whatever they like. There were so many young people on the loose, both men and women, searching for something higher. If you hear the biographies of Govinda Dasi, Jadurani, Palika Mataji, all of them, they were all looking for something higher and better. And because they were interested in the Eastern philosophy, some of them gravitated towards yoga studios or Eastern philosophy, or would browse the libraries to find out more about this, or even were contemplating going to India and so on. Many men were doing the same thing. Mukunda Goswami talks about how he was so interested in yoga. Bhakti Tirtha Swami was also interested in yoga. So like this, there was this trend towards understanding Eastern philosophy, and both the boys and the girls, as Prabhupada called them, were coming, flocking to hear the Swami speak the philosophy, to chant the holy name, and of course to have the wonderful prasadam that Srila Prabhupada generously cooked for many, many disciples all by himself for many months, until somebody realized that there's nobody to help him. He's an old man and he's doing everything. So one person finally said, Swamiji, can I help you? And Prabhupada, with a big sigh of relief, he said, I thought no one would ever ask. So this is how much Srila Prabhupada sacrificed to bring Krishna consciousness to all of us by coming to the Western world. Now he saw that the girls and the boys, as I said, were mixing freely also, and they were also coming to Krishna consciousness. And he thought, how can I deny the girls Krishna consciousness? It's just male dress, female dress. The spirit soul is the same. So he freely gave Krishna consciousness to the women, but he was very strict about Brahmacharini ashram and Brahmachari ashram. He said, no mixing of the two. You have to live separately, and you must strictly follow the 4 regulative principles, and under my guidance, you can become Krishna conscious. And the girls and the boys listened to Prabhupada, and many of them became very staunch devotees. He went on to marry some of them, and he was very proud of his Grihastha disciples. Srila Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj made an army of sannyasis, but I am making an army of grihasthas to spread this Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. And he was very happy to send his devotee grihastha householder disciples to different parts of the world. He sent Govinda Dasi and Gaur Sundar Prabhu to Hawaii. He sent the 3 couples with the small child, Malati Mataji's child, Saraswati, Malati and Sham Sundar Prabhu, then Jamuna and Gurudas Prabhu, and Mukunda Goswami and Janaki Mataji. 6 of them went to England to start the center over there. And we all know how much they struggled for almost 2 years until they met the Beatles, and then George Harrison helped them in a very significant way to start the movement in London. Other disciples went to different places like Siddhama and I forget her name, his wife. They were sent to Japan to start the movement there. Somebody else went to Canada. Like this, Srila Prabhupada empowered both the men and the women to spread Krishna consciousness. And he went on to say, I understood how the society was working. I engaged both men and women in Krishna consciousness, and that is why I have come out successful. Prabhupada went on to say that because he engaged both men and women to spread this movement, understanding the Western society, understanding how society was in the West, he was able to convince everyone to take up Krishna consciousness because he understood everyone is a spirit soul. Everyone has a right to love Krishna. Everyone has a right to go back to Godhead, whether one is a beggar, one is a prince, one is highly educated, one has no education, one is poor, one is rich, someone is white, black, brown, male, female, old person, young person, it doesn't matter. Anyone who takes to Krishna consciousness sincerely and seriously practices the process under the shelter of the pure devotee spiritual master can become fully Krishna conscious and go back home, back to Godhead, simply by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now, in this particular purport, Krishna himself is declaring that one must take complete shelter of Krishna. What is the meaning of taking complete shelter of Krishna? It means taking complete shelter of his representative, the bona fide spiritual master who has come to teach us the path of bhakti. Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata bij. Brahmand brahmite ko na bhagyavan jeev. Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata bij. So this is a very rare gift that has come to us in this lifetime. Maybe we are in female bodies, maybe we are in a child's body, maybe we are white, maybe we are black, maybe we are brown, maybe we are young, old. All these are simply distinctions of the bodily platform. They have nothing to do with the spirit soul. The spirit soul is part and parcel of Krishna. So yes, women need protection. Why? Because they are physically less able to withstand an attack. Why we caution our girls and other Matajis, don't go there. It's very dark. There is no person on those roads. Try to come home before it gets too late. Why we say that? Because women are prone to getting attacked by the men. Even Arjun in the Bhagavad Gita, he didn't want to fight, saying, what will happen to the women if the men all are killed? Who will take care of them? Who will protect them? They will get polluted, unwanted progeny, and whole society will go to hell. So 5 classes of society need protection. Cows, brahmanas, women, children, and the elderly. Why? Because they are vulnerable. That doesn't mean that women should think of themselves as something very inferior or less than or, useless or feel bad about themselves. Though this is very common among us women because we suffer so much many times from low self-esteem, depression, anxiety, worries, stress, tensions, lack of feelings of self-worth, and so on. I specifically wanted to comment on these things because first, I'm in a woman's body and I've gone through all these things myself. And I also wanted to share with you that in Krishna consciousness, there is no bar for anyone. In this lifetime, we may have come in the body of a woman, but who knows in previous lifetimes what kind of bodies we were in? We don't know. But we do not have to feel discouraged. We do not have to feel depressed. We do not have to feel less than, because Krishna has shown that anyone who takes to the path of Krishna consciousness can achieve the supreme destination. Param gatim. Striyo Vaishyas Tatha Shudras Tepi Yanti Param Gatim. Anyone who takes to the path can attain the highest destination. And we have many examples. In India, there's such a rich legacy of so many women, saints, sages, munis. Mirabai is there. Then Queen Kunti, Draupadi, Mandodari. All these were great devotees of the Lord, and they set a shining example of how pure bhakti can be attained by anyone, even if we are in the materially inferior body of women. So on the material platform, yes, there is distinction, but on the spiritual platform, there is no distinction. Anyone can take to this process and anyone can attain the highest perfection of life. So yes, On the material platform, women are considered less intelligent. So once one of the female disciples of Srila Prabhupada, she was very upset. Oh, women are less intelligent. So she went to ask Prabhupada, Prabhupada, is it true that women are really less intelligent than men? And Srila Prabhupada looked at her and gave that classic, brilliant, completely liberating answer. You know what Prabhupada said? He said, if you think you're a woman, you really are less intelligent. This is a very significant point. We must come to understand we are not these bodies. We are pure spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. Jivera Swarup Hoy Nityera Krishna Das. This is my only identity, that I am a servant of Krishna. When we reach that point above the bodily designations, about the body platform, then it doesn't matter whether one is in a man's body or woman's body, because we understand what am I supposed to do? Serve Krishna. In whatever capacity I can serve Krishna, that is open for everyone. So, Sarvopadi Vinir Muktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam. Nirmalam means getting clean. So giving up all these bodily designations and these ideas, we simply engage in devotional service according to our capacity and under the directions of the spiritual master, in order to purify ourselves of all the attachments we have to this material world and get more attached to Krishna, which is the only attachment we wish to have, because that is our real position. Jivera Swarup Hoy Nityera Krishna Das. Now again, we may sometimes think, how can women do anything in this movement? Women can do a lot in this movement. In fact, Srila Prabhupada said women by nature are very simple. They believe the things given to them by higher authorities. In one Srimad Bhagavatam purport, Srila Prabhupada writes that in any country, in any place, women gather in large numbers to hear spiritual discourses, and therefore they are very open to understanding spirituality, accepting spirituality, because they are more simple by nature. They're not argumentative, or they're not trying to philosophize too much. They accept the things, and sometimes they can even deliver their husbands. Remember that episode of Kalia, who was being trampled on, and Krishna was going to finish him off. But who came to his rescue? His wives. The Nagapatnis, with folded hands, pleaded before Krishna to please spare the life of their husband. And Krishna, being very kind and very compassionate towards them, he released Kalya and said, now you do not harass the devotees, you go away from here. That's how Kalya's life got saved. Similarly, in Krishna book, you may have read about how Krishna and Balaram sent the Gopa boys to get some prasadam for them. And what did the Brahmanas do? No, we are performing all the rituals. Now we cannot give you anything. But when they went to the wives, the gopis, readily they gave the bhog which they had prepared and said, please, give it to Krishna, give it to Balaram. They must be so hungry. And then the Brahmanas realized that their wives really have true devotion, and it became a lesson for them to give up their ritualism. Many times, in the name of religion, people today, they indulge in ritualistic practices which have nothing to do with bhakti, actually, because bhakti is a transformation of the heart. Just going through the rituals is not going to create transformation of the heart. Only bhakti yoga can do that. And Srila Prabhupada, in his great mercy, has given everyone that opportunity to engage in pure devotional service and go back home, back to Godhead. This is Srila Prabhupada's special gift. And in our movement also, we can see so many great devotees who are ladies. Malati Mataji is there. Then we have Dinasharini Mataji. She is GBC in Europe. We have Govinda Dasi Mataji. We have Palika Mataji. We have the shining example of Yamuna Devi. Yamuna Devi was so dear to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada would ask her to lead kirtan, give classes. He taught her to cook. That famous book is there, Lord Krishna's Cuisine, the Art of Vegetarian Cooking. Remember, many of you may have read that book, or maybe even using the book. That was by Yamuna Devi. And Yamuna Mataji was asked by George Harrison to join in to sing the Govindam Adi Purusham prayers. Every morning we sing, every temple in the world. We sing the beautiful Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So at one point in the movement, some of the men got very agitated. They said, why should we hear a woman singing? We should have some men singing. So they went and approached Srila Prabhupada. And they said, Srila Prabhupada, it is not good for us to hear a woman singing. Prabhupada became so annoyed with them. He said, what is this? Why you want change, change, change? Yamuna Devi singing should be heard by everybody. And he refused all these petitions by the disciples to change it into somebody else singing. He said, what has been instituted must be accepted by everyone. And there is no difference on the spiritual platform between a boy and a girl. He said, male dress, female dress, what does it matter? I will share with you another incident told to all of us by Rukmini Mataji. Rukmini Mataji was only 16 years old, very young. And Prabhupada, in those days, the movement had not spread all over the globe. He was looking at everybody in the room and he said, I want every one of you to go to different places of the world and open a center. And everyone was silent, trying to digest that. And Rukmini Mataji was so young, only 16 years old. So she said, even the girls, Swamiji? That time they used to call Prabhupada Swamiji. And Prabhupada said, yes, female dress, male dress, what does it matter? I want all of you to go and open a center. So how empowering is that? Another time when Srila Prabhupada brought all his disciples, both boys and girls, Western disciples, they were touring different parts, Surat, Amritsar, and so on. At one point, he asked two American girl disciples to get on at the railway station and go and arrange a Pandal program. Now, just imagine two girls, Americans, not knowing the language, not knowing the culture, not knowing anything, are being empowered by Srila Prabhupada to go and start a Pandal program for him. If Srila Prabhupada did not love his disciples, did not think them equally capable, would he have done that? Of course not. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada has empowered each and every one of us, whether girl or boy, young or old, man or woman, child, educated, uneducated, Jain, Sikh, Hindu, Parsi, Muslim, Christian, anybody can take to this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and gradually make advancement in Krishna consciousness, because this holy name is all powerful, illuminating, enlightening, and empowering us to become who we are. Eternal spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna. So anyone can become Krishna conscious. So one more point that I would like to mention about Srila Prabhupada's love for his lady disciples was, once they had reached one place, all of them together, and there were not enough rooms. So Prabhupada said, all the girls will sleep inside the room and all the boys will sleep in the veranda. This is how he wanted his girls protected. He said, where are the girls? At another point, when there were busloads of devotees going, he was so concerned about the girls. He said, where are the girls? How are they coming? Are they safe? Are they all right? So Prabhupada was always very loving and very concerned and very protective of the lady disciples. If someone was sick, he would say immediately to them, you please take rest. You please take medicine. Please get your health back on track. Jadurani had become very weak at one point. And he wrote to her, telling her exactly what to take complete rest, to take proper food and recover her health. He never said, go out on book distribution even when you're fainting. No, Prabhupada immediately took action to see that whether it was man or woman, it didn't matter. He was very, very careful to see that any sick disciple got all the best of treatment as possible and could recover their health. Prabhupada would be very careful and pay great attention to even small details about his disciples. He was so loving. Once, Guru Puja was going on in the temple, full swing, loud, massive kirtan, everybody offering, flowers and chamara whisk and everybody in ecstasy. And one disciple came to offer Srila Prabhupada some flowers and he had a cut on his leg. And it was, probably oozing, quite prominent. So Prabhupada looked down at his leg and he said, "Are you taking care of this?" That Prabhupada's disciple, he was a little embarrassed. He wasn't actually taking care of it, but he didn't want to, make a scene or make Prabhupada talk more when Puja was going on. So he said, "Yes, yes, yes, Prabhupada." But Prabhupada could see that he was so busy doing service, he could not pay attention. He called his secretary, "Give me a paper and a pen." And he wrote out a prescription and handed it to that boy, saying, "Here, put this ointment on that cut and make sure it gets well." That boy has never forgotten that incident, and it has come in Prabhupada memories now. Now, how loving, how caring Srila Prabhupada was for even the smallest thing about his disciples. He didn't make any distinction in his caring, in his love, in his concern, in his empowerment. The first pujari of the ISKCON Kolkata temple was Mother Narayani. Now she is a female. How did Prabhupada make her because she was very, very competent. She was very well trained by Prabhupada himself, and he went on to train so many other pujaris in the ISKCON Kolkata temple. Mother Narayani says this herself. He named one of his disciples, who is now the temple president of Alachua. She has been there for several years now, Mukhya. Now, all of you know what is the meaning of Mukhya, right? Mukhya means village headman. Why did Prabhupada give her that name? Because he saw leadership qualities in her. He understood that she had a particular destiny to fulfill, and therefore he named her Mukhya. So, the spiritual master will empower us, seeing our particular qualities, propensities, talents, skills, competency. And if we carefully follow the orders of the spiritual master, we also can blossom and grow and thrive in Krishna consciousness. Whether we are a homemaker, whether we are a school teacher, whether we are a painter, dancer, dramatist, computer engineer, doctor, architect, you name it. Anybody can, of any profession, can become completely perfect in Krishna consciousness simply by being faithful to the process, following the four regulative principles carefully, and strictly following the orders of Guru. Yasya deve para bhaktir, yasya deve tatha guru, tasya te khatita hi artha, prakashante mahatmanaha. One who has unflinching faith in the spiritual master and the Supreme Lord, all the Vedic purports, imports are revealed in his heart. That means he becomes self-realized, he or she. So we have the example of Shabari. Shabari was a great devotee, very, very great devotee. And Matanga Muni, Matanga Rishi, he had given her this instruction that you wait in this hermitage, one day Lord Ram will come to deliver you. He left for the spiritual world with his disciples, but Shabari was left alone. And year after year after year, she faithfully stayed in that ashram waiting for Lord Ram to come, saying, one day my Lord Ram will come. And Lord Ram did come, right? We know the story of how she was collecting ber, sweet fruits, and she offered it to Lord Ram. And Lord Ram became so pleased with her devotion and delivered her. We have the example, as I said, of Mirabai, Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda's love for Krishna is so pure. She is extolled as the highest in Vatsalya Ras because for her, baby Krishna is everything. She doesn't know anything except her little Lala, and she worries about him. She wants to make nice preparations for him. She engages Radharani in his service. She tells all the Gopa boys, now don't tire out my little Lala. There's a very famous song which shows how sweet and personal the Lord's relationship with his devotees are. I don't know whether you all understand Hindi, but I'm going to sing this little song for you. Is that all right? Is that okay, Anand Vrindavan Mataji?
Yes, yes, Mataji, please.
Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram, Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram, Ramanarayanam Janaki Vallabham, Ramanarayanam Janaki Vallabham. कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, शबरी की तरह तुम खिलाते नहीं, शबरी की तरह तुम खिलाते नहीं। अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम, अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम, राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम, राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम। कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं, मीरा के जैसे तुम बुलाते नहीं, मीरा के जैसे तुम बुलाते नहीं। लाइक दिस। कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं, यशोदा की तरह तुम सुलाते नहीं। कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं, गोपियों की तरह तुम नचाते नहीं। So Krishna responds according to the love of his devotee, and he has very sweet, loving pastimes with his devotee. Now, Meera, she was a great queen. She was actually a very great princess, but she had given her heart to Krishna. So she was completely absorbed in Krishna songs, Krishna worship, Krishna katha. And finally, she was driven out of her palace because she was such a great devotee. She could not think of anything but Krishna, speak of anything but Krishna, sing and dance for Krishna. And she was going and mingling among the common people, preaching Krishna consciousness. So the Rana, he was so furious. He drove her out of the palace, and she just accepted that situation. She was even given a pot of poison to drink. She accepted that also, offered it to Krishna. Krishna turned it into Amritam. You know that about Mirabai, right? Oh, even though she was a great queen, she became a Vairagi, a renunciant. Until today, we are singing her glories. So there is, what I'm trying to explain is, there is no bar to anyone to become Krishna conscious. Similarly, we have Kanak Das. He was an untouchable. He was not allowed in the temple. But Kanak Das' heart was so pure and so filled with bhakti, so much love, that he would go to the back of the temple, and from a small window he would look at his dear Lord Udupi Sri Krishna and pray to him and sing to him. The Lord became so moved by his devotion, Udupi Sri Krishna turned right around to face his devotee. Till today, the mandir is like that, that there is one window, Kanakanakindi it is called in Kannada. It means the window through which Kanak Das looked at Sri Krishna. Janabai. Janabai was another great devotee of the Lord who was harassed and tortured but never gave up her devotion to Krishna. Gora Kumbhar. He was an untouchable potter. That's another famous story about how he was so absorbed in Krishna consciousness that when, turning the potter's wheel, he completely forgot everything. He crushed his own child in the potter's wheel. His wife was so devastated and horrified. She says, "What is this? Our own child, and you did not see?" And he said, "Yes, I'm so sorry. I could not see anything except my Krishna." So then he prayed. They prayed to Krishna, and Krishna restored the life of that little baby of Gora Kumbhar. So all these are very great devotees of the Lord. Whether one is an untouchable, a dog eater, a chandal, a vaishya, a shudra, a woman, it doesn't matter. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I want us to understand how much Srila Prabhupada loves his disciples, all of us, whether we are girls or boys or men or women or children, and whatever caste we belong to, whatever creed we belong to, nationality, ethnicity, race, Krishna has made Srila Prabhupada come to give the message that everyone can become Krishna conscious and attain the highest destination. I will end with a beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 12:351. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me share it with this. Kalair dosha nidhe rajan asti hi eko mahan gunaha kirtanad eva krishnasya mukta sangam param rajit. What is the meaning of this? O king, although this Kali is an ocean of faults, there is one beautiful redeeming feature, I'm using my own words here, about this age. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can be free from material bondage and attain the highest destination. Can everyone see? Let me share a screen. Okay, here we go. कलेर्दोषनिधेराजन् अस्ति हि एको महान् गुणः कीर्तनादेव कृष्णस्य Mukta Sangha Param Rajet. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. Purport. After mentioning the innumerable faults of this age of Kali, Shukadev Goswami now mentions its one brilliant aspect. Just as one powerful king can kill innumerable thieves, one brilliant spiritual quality can destroy all the contamination of this age. It is impossible to overestimate the importance of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So simply by chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we can attain the topmost destination by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, by the mercy of our spiritual masters. Thank you all so very much. Hare Krishna. We can now open for comments, questions, realizations, or if you have some corrections, I'm happy to learn from you. My humble obeisances. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Mataji, for such nice class.
Thank
And
you.
we can now ask questions by unmuting yourself. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. My humble obeisances to you. Panchang Pranam. Jai Gurudev.
So Mataji, you mentioned that Srila Prabhupada gave women to also perform, the service of Pujari also, and the first Pujari of Kolkata temple was Narayani Mataji or something, he said. So
Head
here,
Pujari.
yeah, so here in US, Pujaris, women are allowed to be Pujaris. Is that still allowed in India?
I don't believe in India they have that practice. I think in India, the ladies are not allowed to go on the altar, not allowed to do Pujari service. That is the rule they follow over there. I have not seen in Mayapur or Vrindavan or any other place lady Pujaris.
So Narayani Mataji was the head Pujari in the sense she wouldn't perform, she would just manage.
No. She would do deity worship as well as teach deity worship in the early days of ISKCON Kolkata.
So now, nowadays it is not like nowadays women don't perform. Earlier it was allowed in India as well.
Well, during Srila Prabhupada's time, Prabhupada himself empowered all his disciples. He taught his disciples, and therefore she was given that position by Prabhupada to teach, to do as well as teach deity worship. Now, why the things have changed, why they are not following, I cannot answer for that. I have no idea.
Okay, Mataji. Yes, because I have seen many devotees who are settled here in US, Grihastha couples. They like here because the services they get here, they can't get if they
India.
return to India. So that's they don't want to return to India. So yeah,
Yes,
devotees I
sometimes.
heard.
Yeah, Lord Chaitanya wants that this movement flood the whole world. So he is placing disciples all over the globe so that the whole world is flooded with Krishna consciousness. In Jagannath Puri, they don't allow foreigners inside the temple. Prabhupada said, Jagannath himself has come out. And there is Rath Yatra now all over the world because he is not Puri Nath, he is Jagannath, he is Lord of the universe. And Prabhupada refused to go into the temple saying that if my disciples cannot come, even I am not coming. So Prabhupada was very much, not in favor of this policy of Jagannath Puri temple of not allowing foreigners based on skin color. And you know what Loknath Maharaj says? Anyone who takes to this Vaishnavism, Krishna consciousness, he is automatically Bharatiya. Why? Because he is adopting the culture, the basic Sanatan Dharma culture of India. So he is Indian. That's, of course, Loknath Vami says like that. But who can convince these? See, this is why ritualism is actually destroying Hinduism. Krishna consciousness is actually reviving the real culture. Lord Chaitanya did not say it is based on birth, skin color. He said it is according to our qualifications. We are Brahmanas, Vaishyas, Shudras, etc. So, this is from the scripture. But caste Brahmanas, the caste Goswamis, they don't want to give up their monopoly, their hold on the temples, on the pujaris, on the Vedic rituals, and so on. So, some of them are very stubborn. What can be done? It may take some more generations, for things to change.
Thank you, Mataji. It was a class.
Yes,
Yeah, I read a lot of these pastimes which you mentioned about the women in Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, and it was very nice refresher to hear again from you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I just want all of us to know how much Prabhupada loves all his disciples, whether they're girls, boys. Now we are granddaughters of Srila Prabhupada, but Srila Prabhupada has come in the dreams of even the third generation. I personally know some of my god sisters who have experienced, very loving reciprocation from Prabhupada. So Prabhupada is very much there. He's observing everything, he's watching everything, he's seeing everything, and he will empower whether one is a man or woman. If we are sincere, there is no bar to our Krishna consciousness.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes. Who is this, please, may I know?
Ananda Brindavan.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, please, go ahead.
Sorry, my input volume was maybe low. Okay, so Mataji, I have a question. Like many times we read in the purports, Prabhupada writes that, as per Chanakya Pandit, Strishu Raja Kuleshu Vishwasana eva jayate. Like one should not trust on the women and the kings or royal people. And because he writes that because, kings are more diplomatic and women are less intelligent. So how would you please explain to me that what is the less intelligent, how one, if it is one is less intelligence, then how one cannot trust on that person? And could you please enlighten us a little bit more?
Yes, this is a quotation from Chanakya Pandit, and there he is talking about ordinary people, ordinary conditioned souls, simple materialistic people on the material platform. He is not talking about devotee women. He is not talking about women in Krishna consciousness. Remember, once we come to the spiritual platform, slowly, we start acquiring all the good qualities of the demigods. This is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that anyone who practices this devotional process gradually and also automatically develops all the good qualities of the demigods. One of them being trustworthiness. See, this is a movement for building character. Prabhupada said, this is a movement for building character. So slowly, by the process of anartha nivritti, we give up all our bad habits, our bad tendencies of cheating, lying, manipulating, exploiting, doing all kinds of nonsense activities. Devotee starts shunning all these bad habits, saying, no, I don't want to be like this anymore. Even if he or she has bad habits, we give these up because we know this is not pleasing to Krishna. So this is not true. The statement of Chanakya Pandit is not true of devotee women. It is not to be taken, it has to be taken in the proper, every statement must be evaluated by time, place, circumstance, and candidate. So this is not true of devotee women. Don't worry.
Okay, Mataji, thank you so much. Anyone else has any question?
Mataji, this is Shweta. I have a question. It might not be directly related with women practicing Krishna consciousness, but it's something related to husband, wife, and Gotra. So I don't know if we can talk about that. So, Hare Krishna Mataji. So my question is, once a woman gets married and performs any rituals like naming ceremony for the baby or any sort of rituals after the marriage, right? Pujaris in India generally ask for gotras, for gotra of the male, and the female gotra is not at all considered. So I don't know in ISKCON also. I don't know. I have not seen ISKCON follow that. Is that true? And let's say we do come across such situations, even in ISKCON, how do we tackle this? Because personally, I feel that I mean, Krishna knows all our Gotra and all of that, right? So why do we have to repeat it to him? If we are sacrificing, if we are giving everything to him, then why do we have to mention this Gotra and all of that, Nakshatra? Is there a need?
Okay. First and foremost, I'm not an expert on astrology or gotras or anything, but this much I know that according to common understanding, all devotees have one gotra, Achyuta gotra.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry so much, because whether one is the husband or the wife or one is the mother or the father, we are all considered belonging to Achyuta gotra.
Okay.
You see? So there is no worry then, because what is the child's gotra? He is belonging to Achyuta gotra. He is also devotee baby. So we
Okay.
don't have to worry about that.
Okay, that is simple. I think, yeah, then I think we can just mention as Achyuta Gotra everywhere, wherever we go.
Exactly. Exactly. No more worries. No more tension.
Yeah. So I'm not initiated yet, and my husband is not a devotee. But I think, can we still take that?
Well, that is something you will have to consult with your mentors in Krishna consciousness, whether you can accept that. Because I do know in some temples that even though some lady or man devotee is not initiated, because they want so much to become in the spiritual path, if their name is Bhakta Jenny or Bhakta John, and they like some spiritual name, they're allowed to call themselves Bhakta Yashoda or Bhaktin Yashoda or Bhakta Ram, like that. I know that this happens. Of course, the spiritual master will change the name, but they say, I don't want to be called by my Karmi name. I want a spiritual name. So sometimes they will give that spiritual name even without initiation. I've seen this happen.
Okay.
Because they so much want to be spiritual, and it is not disallowed, it is not wrong. If one wants to have a spiritual name, even before initiation, one can request, and if the mentor agrees, it is perfectly all right to. Most Indians already have spiritual names. You are talking about Westerners. Some of them, when they come and join the brahmachari ashram or brahmacharini ashram, they request the authorities, and authorities allow that to happen.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Nice question. My god sister Srimati has joined all the way from Dallas. Wow. Please accept my humble obeisances, Srimati. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Gurudev.
Hare Krishna Mataji, my humble obeisances to you all, Mr. Shri Prabhupada. Yeah, yesterday I couldn't join. This way today, I I made sure that I join today. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Mataji.
Thank you. We need to understand the role of women so that we neither feel inferior nor should we feel superior. We should understand we are all spirit souls. We are all trying to practice the path of bhakti. There is no need to dominate the men. There is no need to feel inferior to the men. There is only one need to become Krishna conscious.
That was very profound, Mataji, and practical and perfect. Anyone else with anything? If not, I can.
Yeah, Jessica.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jai Shri Krishna Mataji.
Jai Shri
Good to
Krishna.
hear
Hare
from you.
Krishna.
A lot of good things you said. Hare Krishna. And I have a question, like whatever you were like just now, devotees are talking questions and everything. So I was always wondering from the childhood, like I was not a devotee at all. Before recently I started this path. So I was not aware, but my question was always there, ki why we have different kind of culture, different kind of religions. Like you were saying, like Hinduism or Sikhism or Americans, why we don't call it like we all are same, we are just a soul. So why we are dividing by colors or religion or different places? And my second question is like, as we are souls, we are not human and man or female. So so why we are differentiating when we have a period. So period is like also God given, not we made it. And if we don't have a period, so we don't have a babies. So then people will like behave differently if you're not able to have kids. So we should have the same thing. We can do prayers and everything when we are doing when we are in periods.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there are certain considerations to be taken because we are in a female body. Like I said, women need protection.
Yeah.
Women need extra care. Women, especially during the menstrual cycle, are more delicate. There is more chances of infection. There's more chances of, some women suffer severe menstrual cramps. They may even faint sometimes. I know of certain cases like that. So that is why, for a woman's protection and for her to recover from the blood loss, that is also a loss. She can become anemic also if she does too much activities during that time. Therefore, she is given that rest period. She is given that time. In olden days, I remember in South India, there was a separate room, and the Mataji would be in that room. She would not have anybody disturbing her. She could just be peaceful, read whatever she needed to do, chant, etc., without any what to say, duties and responsibilities imposed on her, because normally, household routine requires so many activities. But the other ladies would take over and she would be allowed to take rest because the body needs that. So it is just a fact of life that women have periods and they may need special care during those periods. That is the meaning behind it. It doesn't mean, you look down on a woman just because she's having a periods, or you think she's a dirty girl or something like that. It's just a fact of life. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But nowadays it's like cleanliness is better than earlier days. But still people look down for them and they can't do several duties. Like I feel like when I'm in period, I can't do prayers. And that like it really hurts me ki I can't do prayers in my house.
No, you can always pray in your heart. Anybody can pray at any time to Krishna. Why you should don't ever feel that you cannot connect with Krishna at any time in any circumstance. You may not be able to actually do altar worship. That is true. We say you should be off the altar, but in your room or wherever you are, there is no bar. You can chant, you can pray in your heart to Krishna. What is the problem?
Yeah, that is my question, why I can't touch my altar.
Well,
Because it's not like it's something we made it, it's a God made it thing.
right, right. But like I said, those times a woman is not supposed to exert herself in any way, shape, or form. She's
Yeah,
not allowed to go to the chula. She's not allowed to go and do all her other activity. Why? Because in the olden days, it was very heavy physical work. Remember, there was no mixer, grinder.
yeah,
Well, water had to
right.
be taken out of the well. So many things, very heavy duty work was done. And for a woman's body to take rest under those circumstances is essential. So therefore, women were allowed to take rest during those times, and which means no duty was given to them, including altar duty. Now we have become
Yeah,
so.
that part I understand.
Hmm.
Yeah, I understand that part, that time, and I believe that, and I'm glad you said the same thing so I can understand better, because it's always like in my conscious mind, I say nowadays we don't have that heavy work and those kind of stuff. Still, why we are following those rituals?
We are following those rituals because Prabhupada himself gave them to us. He said, when you're off the altar, when you're having your period, it is best for you to take rest and be off the altar. Prabhupada himself gave this direction. But one time, I must say this also, he saw one girl who was so attached to her deity worship. She was so upset when he said that to her. To her, he said, okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I also feel the same way. It's not right, I'm not able to do it.
Hmm.
So it's like really painful for me, like when I'm not able to do it.
Hmm. Yeah, sometimes,
And
the
I somebody told me you will get a sin if you do it. I said it's okay if I get a sin, I want to do it. Because if I'm not feeding my Krishna and it's not right. So I'm ready to take that sin. But they were like very upset on me.
Acha. See, for such situations, it's very important to discuss with your mentor, discuss with senior devotees, because in Krishna consciousness, one of the things we try to avoid is niyam agraha. There are 6 things favorable for Krishna consciousness. There are 6 things unfavorable for Krishna consciousness, one of which is acting independently and whimsically. So we don't want to fall into that category. We want our bhakti lata beej to grow nicely. So again, it is not one t-shirt size fits all. So every decision, sometime, not every important decision, will need proper consideration of the circumstances, the psychology of the individual. So your mentor should be consulted and their directions should be followed so that we are not doing something that is not pleasing to Guru and Krishna.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much.
May I know your name? It's showing up as Zoom.
My name is Renuka.
Renuka. Thank you, Renuka
हाँ,
ji, for opening your
मुझे
heart.
कुछ और questions है पर I can't ask in the group, but if you have any time, I can talk to you over the phone.
Okay. I'm actually traveling to Dallas tomorrow. So time is very
Okay.
difficult right now. Some of you have contacted me.
Okay.
Hopefully, after my preaching tour is over, I can get back to you. But right now, time is very short.
Sure. Yeah, sure. No worries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can I ask a question? It is related to the question which Mataji asked.
I'm going to let Anand Vrindavan. I don't mind, but Anand Vrindavan, do you have time?
Yeah, maybe a couple of minutes, Mataji, because you had to leave also, right? So
Right.
yeah, Mataji, morning flight tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Just if it is quick, no problem.
So Mataji, just now Mataji was asking about when we are off altar, can we worship the deity and all? So on this, there was mixed opinions expressed by our Guru Maharaj and the Shiksha Guru for a certain devotee, for my god sister. So they said that you should follow Shiksha Guru's instruction. So I was just worried, like if Guru Maharaj is visiting your home and he says the altar is closed and the reason you gave is the woman is off altar, and then she's unable to serve. She's the person who mainly serves, and he said that you can actually have she should serve because deities should be served, kind of, and opposite is instruction in case of Shiksha Guru. So in this case, how can one reconcile and follow?
First and foremost, the spiritual master is not going to come to your home when you have your periods. Spiritual master is not a taskmaster.
Not in my case, Mataji, but I think video is frozen for me, or is it for everyone?
Sorry?
We are able to hear you, Sudevi. Okay, her internet is not working probably, Mataji.
Oh. Well, I just want to sum it up to say that don't worry so much, Sudevi. Your spiritual master is very compassionate, very understanding, because spiritual master can see many things with his divine vision. When Ramanujacharya visited the home of a very poor Brahmana couple, he knocked on the door. And that poor lady was so poor, she didn't have clothes to open the door. Understanding by her silence and understanding by her inability to open the door, Ramanujacharya threw his chadar over the doorway so that she could wear that chadar and then open the door to him. So don't think spiritual master cannot understand our situation. He understands very well everything. So when your Shiksha Guru gives you certain instructions, we follow those instructions. When your Diksha Guru gives certain instructions, we follow those instructions. So in a particular circumstances, you may not be able to serve him, and that's okay. You can always serve him at another time. That's all.
Sorry, I was logged out because of some internet issue. I'll listen to the recording.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mataji, and thank you all for joining. It was really nice, Mataji, to hear from you what is really women's role in Krishna consciousness, or how we should be in Krishna consciousness all the time, whatever position or circumstances or situation we are. It doesn't matter if we're just loving Krishna. That's what is important and nothing else.
Hi, well, you summed it up beautifully. Very nicely said, Anand Vrindavan. Thank you. Thank you so much. All of you, each and every one of you. I especially want to express really my heartfelt gratitude for Anand Vrindavan Mataji for going out of her way to accommodate and facilitate these Zoom meetings in spite of her hectic schedule. She's a working lady. I know that she has got a lot on her plate. She's managing the Bhakti Center here in Livermore, but she has been so kind as to accommodate me, and I'm so grateful for this, Anand Vrindavan Mataji. Thank you very much.
Mataji, for giving us so much of time and coming here. It was really a nice week with you, like 3-4 days. And we wish you all the best in your, preaching tour all over America. And please pray for us wherever you go, and especially in Mayapur, please pray to Panchatattva and Shri Radha Madhav.
Yes, I will be praying for Kurmagor to come.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, my daughter didn't receive your newsletter. I asked her for the newsletter.
Okay, let me send her right now.
Yeah,
She's
you
in the
sent.
group. Yeah.
She said she somehow didn't get it or something.
Okay.
Please send it to her as well as to me.
Yeah.
I would like to be in touch via the newsletter at least.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavis. My prayer for each and every one of us is we just take shelter of Srila Prabhupada and attain the highest perfection of life. That is, become pure devotees in this very lifetime. Haribol.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna.
Her Grace Sridevi Mataji ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.
Her Grace Anand Vrindavan
Thank you, Mataji.
ki jai. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj ki jai. She's serving her Guru Maharaj so nicely, following his instructions so nicely. She gave up her job when her child was 5 years old to stay home and homeschool her children. Can you believe this? Her son was 11 years old when he was accepted in college. He was 17 years old when he was accepted in the PhD program and completed his PhD by the age of 20.
He didn't do PhD, Mataji. He came back finishing masters.
Okay. Yeah, what I'm saying is, at such a young age to do all these things is simply the training he has received from your homeschooling, teaching Srimad Bhagavatam, sacrificing your career, putting your children first, putting your home first. These are all very great examples for us to follow, because the world will always tell us differently. But our spiritual master, whatever orders he gives us, by following that faithfully, we will attain the highest perfection of life. Close your eyes and ears to everything else. Simply focus on Krishna's lotus feet and the spiritual master's instruction. Bas, nothing more.
Yes, totally agree. Anand Mataji is amazing. She's like Krishna's blessing for me. So she's like
Krishna's
wonderful.
blessing
She
for me
always.
too.
I
kind,
always say
so
कि
compassionate.
कृष्णा किसी गलत इंसान के पास जाने नहीं देते, तो मुझे अनजाने में ही आनंद माता जी के पास पहुंचा दिया. And she's like
Haribol.
guiding so nicely. She's so humble. मतलब I love her like crazily.
Yes. We need all such devotees to guide and bless us. They are very stable, they're very fixed in their Krishna consciousness, and they have a very big giving heart that wants to accommodate everyone and bring them closer to Krishna. You have to cling to the lotus feet of such devotees, because they will take us back to Krishna.
Yeah, I never seen Anand Mataji like somebody else. So they are not that humble. Anand Mataji is so humble, I can't tell you. So I'm blessed to have her.
I am also very blessed to have her. I'm not going to let her go now.
We are blessed to have you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All of us, your such sweet and nice classes. It's amazing.
Yeah, totally. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. See you all
Hari
soon.
Bol.
Hari Bol.